Hi and welcome from Brisbane to the 2015 Australia-China Youth Dialogue. The Australia-China Youth Dialogue is the preeminent Track 2 dialogue for young leaders from Australia and China. Every year it's our great privilege to bring together 15 of Australia's and 15 of China's best and brightest, with the purpose being to really try to discuss some of the most challenging and pertinent issues facing the Australia-China relationship. The ACYD provides an opportunity for these young leaders to develop relationships, to create networks, but I think most importantly it really gives them an opportunity to develop their own understanding of these issues that face Australia and China.
Welcome everyone to the 2015 Australia-China Youth Dialogue. This is our 6th dialogue and we're delighted that from over 250 applications we've brought together the best and the brightest young Australian and Chinese leaders committed to advancing the Australia-China relationship.
So I'm Aidan Lavin, I'm a mergers and acquisitions lawyer here in Brisbane and I was a delegate at last year's dialogue in Beijing. So this year I helped chair a session where we focused on infrastructure and we had 3 great speakers. One was John Denton AO, who's the partner and CEO of Cause Chambers Westgarth. We had Ryan Manuel, who's a China Research Fellow at Australian National University. And finally, we had Michael Carter, who's the Executive Vice President of Horizon Holdings Limited in their Strategy and Business Development Group.
There's been a lot of highlights of the event. It's been amazing. It's a hugely packed agenda. It was a really good opening speech actually by Bob Carr, who just gave us this huge sense of the importance of the Australia-China relationship and how that will continue to be important going forward.
Thanks for hosting this and thank you for joining the think tank that I'm honoured to head. And I want to talk to you today about some perspectives on this relationship between Australia and China. It's a big challenge for both countries, but there are some almost astonishingly positive things to say about it.
So what we've got here, we've got the crisis simulation part of the dialogue. So we've split our delegates up into different country groups and we've thrown them a really, really tricky situation, and hopefully by the end of the day they'll have learned a lot about international relations and crisis and maybe how you can resolve some of these flashpoints. So we find that this is a really, really good way to instill a huge amount of knowledge on what it's like to manage a crisis at the highest levels of government. All of our delegates get something really exciting out of this because it's a game and they have fun.
I'm Benjamin Leigh, I'm the Alumni Director for ACYD. It's my pleasure to be here for the 2nd year running. I was a delegate last year in Beijing in 2014 and this year, 2015, to come along and meet our 30 new additions to the alumni. So we now got 180 alumni, including all of the delegates this year, and it's wonderful to see such high quality people get together in a room and hash out a bunch of different issues over 4 days.
I'm Olivia, I am the Communications Manager at ACYD 2015. On the 2nd night of the dialogue, we were lucky enough to be hosted by GOMA, the Gallery of Modern Art here in Brisbane. We held a dinner for 70 people in the bistro, which was beautiful on a beautiful evening. We had Chinese Consul General Zhao speak to us first off, and he spoke about the blossoming relationship between young emerging leaders from China and Australia and where the direction is heading in his eyes. And then we had Colin Mackeress, who is a sinologist, and he talked about some of the trends he's seen come through, which was great for our delegates. I think gave them a very different perspective. Then we were lucky enough to go through the gallery and see the APT exhibition, which was a terrific end to the night.
Hi, I'm Michael McGregor. I'm the Diplomacy Session Coordinator here for the 2015 ACYD. We've just finished up a fantastic session with 2 really interesting speakers. Peter Tsai, who's a journalist based down in Melbourne, and Tom Switzer from the US Study Centre, based at Sydney University. Our session covered a broad range of topics including media, government, international relations, economics, trade, technology, and provided our delegates with a really, really impressive coverage of some of those key issues within the bilateral relationship, but also more broadly across US, Australia and China, and has given them a lot of food for thought as they move forward with their work.
The important impression of this dialogue is that all of us feel that we have a shared responsibility for our future.
I would definitely encourage people to join ACYD because it's really a platform that filled with people with diversity background. And the topic covered by ACYD is so wide. Every area that closely related to your life.
My name is Sadhwani. I'm a student at the University of Queensland studying finance, economics and Chinese. And I've organized a session today, the entrepreneurship session. The first half we had a speech with Rohan from the University of Melbourne. And we've also had Terry Hillsberg, who's a venture capital investor, Gemma Xu, the CEO and co-founder of Triple Local, and Professor Ken Anderson from the University of Western Australia. These are going to be our future leaders, and we have entrepreneurs in the room. And that's why it's incredibly important for the ACYD 2015.
The highlight for me is really being physically connected with people in the same room together who are so interested and passionate about this Australia-China relationship.
It broadens your horizons. It opens so much of the world up that you didn't even know existed.
It's been wonderful to see your energy and your commitment, your ideas and your intelligence. I think most importantly along the way, I really do hope that you've had the opportunity to make relationships. The ACYD is that opportunity to create prepared minds for the issues of the future. So thank you for making the ACYD what it is. Thank you.